what's going on?
What's up?
I'm not much of a debater, but
Oh, now he's
I think
texting.
you were asking.
Oh, he can
I
text when
think
he's
you were
muted.
asking great questions in that channel, and I was like, it really made me think.
Wait, you're a theist, right?
Yeah, I'm a theist.
Okay, so do you believe in? Why do you like? Do you think there's reasons to believe in God?
So do you mean like reasons like objectively or like subjectively? Like in terms of like from an objective observation of the world, or like from my personal experience?
So when you mean objective, you just mean stance independent, right?
I guess so. Yeah, like clearly you can't be completely stance independent, but
Well,
it's possible to
well,
sort of.
seemingly, if you're making an ontological view, right? So existentially, when you're saying a God existentially obtains, right, or a God obtains, and I ask if there's reasons. Well, when I'm asking to supply a reason for the existential proposition, that would just seem to be conducive to the thought that there must be some like non-subjective standard given ontology is going to be like metaphysical, right? Deals directly with reality. So I guess the answer is like, do you have an objective reason?
Yeah, no. So I can conceive of two sets of objective reasons. So like two types of objective reasons. So for example, you can say that, hey, it's justified for me to believe that God exists because of certain experiences I am having, and those experiences.
Well, first, what do you mean by justified there?
Like they give good reasons to think something is true, I guess.
Wait, but I take it a reason is just the same as a justification. So what do you mean by reason? Unless you're just giving me synonyms, that's not really informative.
Yeah, so I suppose I don't have a very technical definition of reasons there. I'm thinking more in terms of like, okay, you've got a belief, and you're asking me like, what justifies this belief?
Yeah, that's
is that sort of what you're asking me?
No, I'm asking, what do you mean by like reason?
Yeah, I don't have a very specific definition in mind, a very technical one. I assumed you just meant something like justification. Do you mean something else, or do you mean that?
Well, I don't know what you mean by justification either.
Okay, so like if you say that I believe something, and you say something like, well, the reason I think it's true is because of X, Y, Z. That to me sounds like you're offering a justification. So in that sense, I'm holding those two sort of as talking about that the same thing.
Was that supposed to be a definition or like an example? Because I'm not clear as to like the analysis you're trying to like.
That was an example.
Oh, well, I need a definition.
Have an alternative. Yeah. Do I have a definition? I guess I have like an ostensive one. I can point to that and say, hey, look, that's something like that, basically, and I can use that as like a.
But ostensive definitions only apply to objects. Right, the ostensive definitions are going to be referring in which the sense of the ostensification is just the referent in which is going to be directed towards, right? And it's not the case that reason presumably is going to be a referent, unless you're a realist about reasons.
I'm talking about this. I'm talking about a specific case where if I ask you, okay, you believe something. Why do you believe something? And you will say the reason I believe that is X, Y, Z. I'm essentially pointing to that.
I'm not asking why you believe in something, right? Maybe there's going to be like causal psychological motivations from like some set of conditions that you're acquainted with that would like be inferable or like allow for the transition to the mental state of like belief. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking if, since you're claiming that you have a reason to believe in God, I'm asking what do you mean by reason? And then you said a justification, and I just then asked what do you mean by justification? If you're just saying you have a causal motivation to believe in God, like some causal thing explains, that doesn't make it the case that it's thereby rational, which seems to be what you're implying when you say that you have a reason, right? Anyone could believe in unicorns for some causal reason, right? Or
so it sounds like you have a definition in mind where.
Well, yeah, under my characterization of reason, I just mean like an inference.
Yeah. So no, wait. So just to be clear, from what you said earlier, it sounds like your notion of reason is something that sort of offers a rational reason, or no? Could you sort of explain that part again specifically? Because you said a lot, and it's easier to keep track of you.
I'm not really clear what you're asking, but if you're asking what I mean by reason, I said a reason. All I mean by reason is an inference. So when I say, or when you say that you have a reason to believe in God, presumably you're saying you have an argument in light of the proposition God exists.
Okay, so say hypothetically, if I were to say I had like a non-inferential basis for belief in God, would you say like that's invalid, or would you say?
Yeah, it would be non-reason.
Okay, so you would say that's not a reason to believe in God.
Yeah.
would you say then I was unjustified in my belief in God?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I presume that's because you think the only justifications for beliefs are inferential.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
you would think there are no.
analytically.
Okay, okay. So I mean, so could you give me some examples of like what other people have offered that might be non-inferential reasons for anything? I mean, non-inferential bases to believe something.
Well, usually once they have no like inference in light of the proposition God exists, then it just like we just get off there.
Okay, so you don't ever discuss any non-inferential cases or anything like that. Do you
Well,
have any examples of those in mind at all?
yeah, I mean, I believe in God because I have an experience.
Yeah, so would you say that's an invalid reason to believe?
Well, I don't take it as a reason unless you like you maybe try.
Would you say it's a justification if it's not a reason?
No, I take it that reasons and justification are like tantamount.
Synonymous, yeah. So
Semantically.
you would say no experience at all could justify your belief in something.
No, I don't take it that
Okay.
experience is going to be an inference.
So
I mean, maybe you can
so
try and
if-
make like a modus ponens where the condition would be if I experience God, then God exists. I experience God, therefore God exists. But
yeah, so
seemingly then I
so
would just like deny the material implication or the conditional, given that like we can just like substitute the whatever like the subject God for any alternate thing, right? We could just do some substitution in which
yeah,
I experience unicorns, therefore unicorns exist, right? And we have like some empirical basis to reject this psychologically given delusions, right? And we can even
so
draw an inductive
yeah.
case in which it's highly unlikely that these would be, like true.
So talk to me about what you would do if someone says something like, "Look, I believe there's a tree in front of me because I see one." That would not be a propositional sort of justification, I imagine. That would be some sort of non-inferential case, right?
Well, they're gonna have like causal motivation, right? They're just gonna be like given their like phenomenal experience, they're gonna have like internal motivation to believe. But I wouldn't say that's reason giving. Right?
Okay. So I grant that that's not reason giving. Would you say there's no justification there either? Or would
Well,
that be an unjustified belief, according to you, that the person sees a tree
well, it's
and
not clear to
they?
me that that's gonna be like some inferential transition. So I would just deny
No,
that it's gonna
I'm
be
not saying it's
justificatory.
inferential. I explicitly said it's non-inferential.
Yeah, but
The
you're asking
question
me if
is,
it's
would you call
justified.
that an unjustified belief?
Well, yeah, I'm just saying presumably that's like not gonna be an inferential transition for which it would qualify as justified.
Okay, so you would say it's an unjustified belief then.
Presumably.
Okay, so if someone sees something, and that just basically seeing something is their basis for believing something, you would actually call that an unjustified belief. Now, would you say like there's a potential flaw in your epistemology here if that's the case?
No. Well, what would be the
You don't
flaw?
think it's a flaw? Well, I mean the fact that so many people categorically like base what their beliefs are based on experiences, and your
I never denied.
definition of justification
Wait,
and your
what?
definition
No,
of
no,
reason,
you're,
and this
you're
whole
no, no, you're
cluster of
confused.
sort of things seem to
No, no,
imply.
hold on, you're confused because I never denied that you have these like propositional attitudes or belief states, non-independent to like interaction with an external world, right? What I'm denying is that because they have the belief given some antecedents of like whatever, like phenomenal experience, that therefore it follows that it is true or it's reason giving for the proposition that whatever they experience is therefore true.
But you just said you wouldn't call it a justified belief, and you take justification to be synonymous with reason.
Mm-hmm.
So on one hand, you're saying it's reason giving, but on the other hand, you're
I
saying
never said it's reason giving.
yeah. So I suppose I don't completely understand what you're saying here. So if it's not reason giving, therefore it's an unjustified belief, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you are saying these people are unjustified
Yes.
in believing that there's a tree in front of them because they see a tree.
Presumably, yeah.
Yeah. So don't you find that kind of case contradicts like a whole bunch of canonical cases where we believe that like if it
Well,
should
look.
be reasonable for us to say that this person is justified in seeing a tree
No, look.
because they experience that seeing a tree?
No, look, we can like maybe like formulate this like under like a Bayesian case, but simply we can make like an inductive case against the probability of there being
This
delusions
actually seems much
given.
more foundational than a
Hold on.
Bayesian sort of analysis in this case.
Well, look, so we could just generate a bunch of inductive case that's highly improbable that our normal day experience is going to be something like delusion, right? But in the case of God, right, we can inductively outrule God, right? So it's just not going to be likely that God exists, and it would be highly more probable that's a delusion.
Yeah, that seems non-responsive to me.
Sorry, what do you mean by non-responsive?
it's not responding to the actual issue at hand here. The issue at hand is if you've got an epistemological model that seems to sort of fail to account for these canonical cases of belief, then that itself shows that there seems to be a flaw in your epistemology. Like you're essentially, by definition, ruling out cases of belief where someone experiences something like a tree, and on that basis has some justification for believing that there's a tree there. Like if someone can't,
so I'm not clear what the justification.
Wait. If someone can't be justified in experiencing a tree there and therefore believing that there's a tree and that belief being justified,
What's the inference there?
Can you see how that's a problem in your epistemology? How do you not see that?
I don't see how that's an issue.
Yeah, like that to me, I think most people would say there's a problem with your.
Well, now you're making an empirical claim about most people, unless you're just like going off like your intuitions. And I'm not really interested in entertaining the speculation. But if you're going to make this empirical case, you would have to appeal to polling data, in which most people would have this intuition that like folk experience is somehow indicative of like justifiers for their beliefs.
So I can't speak to polling data, but I can.
So then we can rule out that claim. When you say that, like,
I can speak
epistemology is like,
yes, I can speak to certain kind
of.
Well,
look, when you say my my experience is like highly errors, or there's going to be an issue with my epistemology, given that
we have to start off
under
with
my
basic assumptions about what epistemology is trying to do in the first
experience of seeing a tree going to be indicative of some justifier. The proposition that a tree actually stands in front of me. I don't understand how that's an issue. If maybe you can elucidate that.
Yeah, it sounds like you're not responding to the issue here. I'm sorry. In that case,
I'm not clear what the issue is.
It's hard to see how right that might be the problem here.
So just lay out the issue.
You're not clear on what the issue is. I might just did just now.
So can you regurgitate the issue?
I don't think I can regurgitate the issue unless you're paying attention. I'm sorry.
I am paying attention. I'm not on my phone.
I was just laying it out, and you were talking over me. I mean, I don't know how to help you here, buddy.
Okay, so just lay it out.
I just did.
Oh, I'm not. I was over talking you, like you said. I'm not gonna over talk you now.
Oh, what's that? I'm sorry?
You just said that I was over talking you then. And I'm not over talking you now, right? So now I'm going to be able to hear you.
Yeah. I mean, why were you over talking me?
I was trying to get a point across.
I mean, it's hard to get a point across if you're like...
Over talking? Yeah, I agree. But now I'm not over talking, so maybe present the issue.
In this conversation, like, it helps to be able to listen and understand what the other side is saying as well.
Yeah, but right now you're just like tirading, right? If you're
admitting, I'm not.
Well, then just present the issue.
Do you understand anything I've said so far?
Look, I'm not interested in the meta. Just present the issue.
Do you understand anything I've said so far? I mean, talk to me about what you've understood so far.
Just present the issue. I'm not interested in the meta.
I have.
Okay,
have.
Well, I'm not. But listen, if what you're trying to do is just like bullshit, where you say I gave an argument, engage with the argument, and the interlocutor says I'm unaware. Sorry, no, I'm making an analogy. I don't know how you can't track that. Look, I'm doing it like an intuition pump. If I'm in a dialectic and someone says to the interlocutor, I gave an argument, respond to the argument, or you concede, and I say I'm not clear as to what the argument was, and they said I already produced the argument, either engage with it or concede, and the interlocutor doesn't know or isn't cognizant of some argument for which they go for it, then obviously there's not going to be a response in which inevitably they'll concede under your view, right? And obviously that's just intellectually dishonest. So maybe if I'm not clear, elucidate what the issue is, and then I would respond.
It just sounds like you're operating in bad faith at this point. That's a more foundational issue.
I don't know why you keep making like these speculative cases. Like, if you just want to disengage and not give me the issue that you're claiming I'm in, which I'm
a speculative case. It's actually.
So you have an argument that I'm intellectually dishonest or something?
But do you understand? What's that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you're saying it's not speculative. So you have an argument that I'm in bad faith?
It's just someone who willingly overtalks someone after trying to understand, after claiming they're trying to understand what they're saying. I think usually that's an indication that that's a deliberate choice.
Yeah, after.
That's a deliberate choice. It seems reasonable to conclude that this person is being sort of.
No, I was over talking you before.
Yeah. Can you explain why?
Like I said, I was trying to get a point across. I don't know. You said after, right? I was over talking, and then I said I'm trying to get clear on the issue and understand. So it's not the case I was over talking you after. I was trying to. So are you just not willing to present the issue at hand, or are we just going to continue to go back and forth?
I just laid out a very basic sort of idea.
So what do you want me to engage with? I'm not clear. If I don't know what the issue is, what do you want me to respond with? If you're not going to reproduce the issue, then we can just drop the content.
I'm trying to lay it out. You just sound aggravated right now, and you're not listening. But
well, I'm kind of getting aggravated. You're just like not giving me the issue.
Well, I tried to, and you overtalked me. I mean, I don't know.
And now I'm saying I'm not overtalking you, and now you're not wanting to give me it. Saying because I had overtalked you prior, now either engage with what the issue is, or
oh my god,
like,
okay,
this is just like a debate, bro, like tactic where you're saying like respond to something you're not cognizant of, or you're like going to concede.
Like
I don't know your issue.
It shouldn't be hard for you to grasp this basic idea
It's not an issue of
that
grasping, right?
what epistemologists are doing when they're trying to come up with models of belief is they're trying to deal with ordinary cases as well as propositional sort of ones that involve inferential justification, so on and so forth. It's pretty straightforward, but that part of the job of epistemologists is to account for things like basic sort of empirical type experiences. I mean, this is so commonsensical, but your model seemingly just rules that out, or as far as I can tell, you're not offering some sort of coherent explanation of how you deal with these type of cases. Basic cases like, I see a tree in front of me. Am I justified in believing that? On what basis is that if it's not inferential?
Clear.
I mean, it's so straightforward.
Sorry, if I can
what are you
interject
struggling with?
Yeah, I'm not clear. Is this supposed to be what the issue is?
I mean, it sounds like you're going around asking people questions about their epistemology.
When did I ask you a question about your epistemology?
No, you were asking questions about reasons for what they believe and why they believe things.
Yeah, asking for reasons isn't an epistemic issue. That's a logical one.
What's that? I'm sorry?
Yeah, a reason is a logical notion, not an epistemic one.
Right, but the reasons you're asking reasons about their belief, right?
No, I'm saying
reasons in relation to their beliefs. Right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So how are you trying to dodge the epistemological implications here?
Where is there going to be implications from some inference to epistemology?
If you're talking about what people believe, the implication is that you're concerned about the rationality of their beliefs or the irrationality. The inference
that's
is
not
sort of
epistemic again.
How is that not epistemic? Explain to me how
asking
reasons for someone's belief is not an epistemic question.
So the phrases reason, justifier, and stuff of the sort are going to be like logical nomenclature, not epistemic ones. So when I ask, do you have a reason to believe in God? That's going to be an inquiry relating or pertaining to the logos, not epistemology at all.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
If I ask, do you know God exists? That's an epistemic inquiry, not a logical one.
So it just sounds like
you have the reason that to believe that God is.
Yeah, I don't know you're. Well, first of all, I'm not a theist. I don't know you're interrupting. Continue, Espresso.
Yeah, you might not be willing to acknowledge the epistemic dimension of your question, but it makes no sense to me to frame it as a purely logical question, because every time you talk about...
I don't know, this is too much meta that I'm not really interested, to be honest.
Yeah, so I mean, in that case, essentially the meta bears...
I just want to know what's the epistemic issue I'm in.
The meta bears on the coherence of your question. If your question is incoherent, people would be like, how do I engage with this?
But by coherence, you just mean consistency of term use, or what?
I mean, it makes your question doesn't seem to fall into a straightforward category.
I don't know.
Are you asking me a reason for what I believe? Are you asking me what's the justification for my belief?
Yeah, I actually.
I don't understand what you mean by it's a purely logical term.
Reason and justifier are just going to be synonymous. So I don't know. You made a disjunction between a reason and a justifier if they're just going to be tantamount.
Oh, wait, can you say that again? Sorry.
Yeah, you made a disjunction between, is it the case you're asking if I have a reason or a justification for the existence of God?
Right.
And those are not just
synonymous.
Yeah, there's synonyms under my view, yes.
Yeah, no, I get that you're saying that, but both of those seem to me to be sort of ultimately epistemic questions, but you're trying to escape the epistemic sort of dimension of that. You're trying to frame it as a purely logical sort of question, but I'm not seeing how you escape the epistemic sort of implications there. So I really...
When you say
what makes the question sort of
when you say epistemic implications, are you referring to a conditional, as in some inference that would illuminate that there's going to be you can infer that there's going to be an epistemic consideration given the logical inquiry? And if so, can you just present the argument?
It just sounds like you're making this way too complicated. It's really straightforward.
Okay, so then this is what happens when you go into too much meta. This is just a rabbit trail.
Wait. When you ask someone, what is the reason for your belief in something? Usually, because it's a question about belief.
This is still meta. I just want to know what's the issue with my epistemology. Because
I don't understand.
It's been 10 minutes and you haven't given it.
Purely about logic.
Look,
I don't understand the question.
You said there's an issue with my epistemology, right?
Well, because I assumed you were asking an epistemological question. Essentially, you were asking about things
but look, I just want to know. Yeah, that doesn't matter. If you're saying that there is an epistemic issue I made, what is the epistemic issue I made?
Well, assuming you were asking an epistemic question, you were dealing with sort of your view framed sort of really straightforward cases, like empirical cases, like observing a tree or something like that. You just seem to sort of lack any sort of account for how someone can justify basic empirical experience.
No,
I don't know if you sort of understood my point there, but
Look,
now you're saying you're not
what-
dealing in
what
epistemology
you're
at all with
asking
the
me-
question. You're asking a purely logical question.
Look,
So I mean,
yeah,
that's where we are.
look. So with respect to logic, what you were asking is, given some phenomenological state of some agent, would that somehow be, like, would there be a conditional from that phenomenological state to the existential proposition of whatever state of affairs that their experience being true, right?
Yeah, I'm
and,
not.
and I denied that.
Following you there. I'm not following what you're trying to say there. Can you?
Yeah. So
break that down more?
so seemingly from this conditional, we could just write it out as like a rule of inference of
From what
modus ponens.
conditional?
Yeah. So if I experience, then it's true.
No, wait. No, that's.
So then what was the
not-
point of bringing that up, right? You said people have reasons to believe in God because they experience God. And then you asked me, is that going to be considered reason giving? And I said no, because it's not an inference, right? So if the inference is going to be like a modus ponens in which if I experience God, then God exists. I experience God, therefore God exists, is not what you're saying. Then what are you saying?
You sort of fell off the wagon really early there. So, essentially, I was just listening to your definition of
Look,
reason.
okay, let's just shift the entire conversation. This is not going anywhere. Do you have an argument for the existence of God?
No, let's not shift it. I'm not ready to shift this yet because
Well,
I think
I don't think we're onto somewhere. I
think
actually
we're
20
onto
times
something.
what's the issue with my
I'd like you to-
epistemic framework, because you said there was.
Well,
And after 20 questions, you never
now
produced
ended up
a response.
saying you weren't asking an epistemic question at
No,
all.
you made the claim.
And
I made an
not
epistemic
asking-
issue.
asking
So look,
yeah, because I
look.
thought
Granted, I make an.
it's really
look,
straightforward.
Yeah, look,
Look, if you
granted,
ask someone about their belief, it's
granted,
an
I made an
epistemic
epistemic question. Just respond to what might be the epistemic issue that which you asserted there was, right? So I just want to
I
get
thought I
clear
just
on what you
did. I
believe
just
the
laid
epistemic issue
out.
was.
I thought I just laid it out like 5 times.
No, you haven't. You made
I'm
it.
not
You never made it
understanding.
clear once.
Okay.
Maybe write it out in text.
Just work with me here and try and be a little charitable.
Yeah, I'll try and type it out.
Now-
Just give it to me one more time.
Just hear me out. No, I'm not coherent enough to type this out. I'm sort of
No, I'm
zoned
going to
out.
type it out. Just orally
Okay,
communicate, and I'll type it
Alright.
out.
So do you, when you sort of engage?
That's a
with,
question. I just
like-
want to know what the epistemic issue is.
No, you got to give people the chance to communicate in the way they feel most comfortable instead of trying
Yeah,
to sort of,
but asking a question
box
isn't
them
going
into
to
sort
be
of-
responding.
what's that? Sorry.
Sorry, but you answering a question with a question is not what I'm like looking for.
No, I'm not asking you a question. I'm trying to sort of get us to find common ground with my answer because I'm not finding enough common ground. So
Oh,
I'm-
well, you said "do
so
you,"
my question is
and
just to
instantly I
find
took
a
that to
little-
be like an inquisitive implication. But
Yeah, yeah. It feels like you're really on edge, bro. Like, just chill out a little bit and just treat this like an exploratory exercise. We're
okay,
just having
so what's
fun.
the issue?
There's no massive
Epistemic
sort of
issue?
aggressive thing here.
Yeah. what's
Well,
up?
I mean, it seems to me pretty straightforward that when epistemologists are looking to come up with like a model of understanding beliefs and justification and all sorts of related issues, they also want to deal with pretty straightforward canonical cases,
I don't know what you mean by
things
that.
like-
Canonical cases.
like canonical cases of belief, like straightforward
Yeah, that
experiences.
that
like
doesn't. That's not.
theatry.
Yeah,
Wait, hear me, let me-
no, sorry.
Try to let me lay this out a little bit.
Sorry. Hold on.
You're
Look,
just-
reproducing the phrase isn't going to be informative of the semantic contents of the expression,
Yeah.
right? When I'm not clear what the
Right.
expression means, and then you just reproduce the expression, you're not informing me what that expression means, right? So when you said canonical, whatever, what was it? Canonical studies. What was it? The phrase?
Bro, you're like interrupting me constantly.
Yeah, 'cause
bro,
I'm
and
not-
then you're
yeah, 'cause-
complaining about how. Wait, if you keep interrupting me, you can't claim to like not get what you're looking for.
Look, this
if
is-
you won't let me finish a whole sentence.
Well, yeah. If
So,
I'm,
what
but
I'm
look, I
saying
think it's
essentially, I've
I think it's
said this-
fine
wait,
to
I've said
interrupt
this about-
just for
I've
clarifying.
said this about
I
5
mean,
or
just
6
for
times
clarity.
before. I've said this about 5 or 6 times before, but you're just not listening because you're interrupting or you're doing something or the other to just disrupt
You're talking too slow,
conversation,
man.
and then you're
Just
complaining
give me
about
the
it.
issue.
I can't.
I don't care
I
about meta.
can't help it. This
care
is
about
just
meta.
the state I'm in right now.
Okay.
So, okay. Do you have you understood
Just-
anything I've said so far?
No, it never seemed like you ever produced an issue or elucidated
Yeah,
what's
I
the
mean,
issue.
yeah. I mean,
Maybe you
there's
write it
only
out
so much
in
I
chat.
can- There's only so much I can do if you keep interrupting me or talking over me, man.
You
I'm
can just
sorry.
type it out in chat. It's
I
not
just-
too much of an issue.
Nah, I don't think I'm coherent enough for that, and I'm sort of just talking.
You're not
right
coherent enough. I don't know what that means.
now. For text. Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Let me think. Let me think. How do I communicate this in a way?
But
that
you're saying you can't
understand?
articulate yourself as well in text as you can orally.
All right. So here's
that the
maybe
idea?
one way to. Here's maybe one way to communicate this.
Oh my god! Look, just give me the fucking issue. I'm not-
Imagine. All right. Wait. Imagine.
Okay, look,
you're like,
I'm not. Look, I'm not interested in this. Just give me the issue.
I'm trying to just listen.
Yeah, just
have a little
say
patience.
it.
Just take it
Look,
easy.
if
Are
you're not
you in
gonna
a rush
look,
right now?
if yeah, I am.
Wait, are you in a
Yeah,
rush
yeah,
right now?
yeah, I am. Look, if you're not gonna give me
All
the
right.
issue, then
You
we could just
want to
like drop
wait
it.
till? Do you want to maybe do this at a time when you're more relaxed and you can take this a little easy?
This is me relaxed.
Bro, you're so wound up, bro. Like
Now
you're
look,
so
you're
wound up
just
right
like
now.
being dishonest and like
I'm
wasting
just
my
trying to
time.
lay it out, but
Yeah,
you can't let
look,
me
you're just
finish.
wasting my time. I just want to know what the issue is.
I'm trying. I mean, I'm sorry. I've tried. It just doesn't sound like you're ready to listen, or maybe you're afraid of what
I'm
will be
afraid.
said if someone says something. Like I'm
No,
really.
look, you're not the
I'm
one
unsure
not
about.
being clear about what the issue is. I don't know how I'm
I'm
afraid
trying.
to hear when you're the one not giving me. Look, when I asked for
Trying to
clarity,
tell
you
you, but
complained
you're
about me
talking over me.
interrupting. But I'm
Keep
interrupting for
interrupting
clarity
me. I
as to
mean,
the phrases of what you're expressing within your like whatever your issue that you're trying to like convey to me, right? So I just need to know what you're saying when you tell me what the issue is. I don't understand how you're being this dumb.
whoa, hey, you don't have to be insulting. But like I've been very
Then
patient
okay,
with
so
you.
just give me the issue.
I've
Look,
dealt
again,
with a lot of
look.
what you've done.
Sorry,
with your
sorry. Is this the issue?
or whatever the
Look,
issue
oh my
is.
god, look, you're not even
I
gonna
mean,
engage.
you're being insulting.
Look,
On top of
look, if you're not gonna engage with me, we could
the
just drop it
etiquette
here.
issue. No, I'm trying, but you're
Okay, so just give me
being
the issue. Just give me the
really
issue.
sort of.
Look, you're not engaging right now. This is meta. Just give the issue right now. Just start talking right now with the issue. Nothing else. Just the epistemic issue I made. Go ahead. Right now. Look, you're off your leash. Go. Go. Attack. Look,
You're
go.
trying really
Oh my
hard
god.
to, like-
Look, yeah, okay, we're done. Look, you're not gonna engage. You just want to like, you're just like an
I'm
expert
trying,
in time wasting. You didn't try. You put zero effort in. You just like
Bro,
you're just a troll who
that's
want to
not
time waste.
fair.
Yeah, it's
Come
not fair
on.
that you want to waste other people's times for like fun.
I mean, yeah, people.
Yeah,
find
yeah, it isn't. And the fact that
frustrating when
you admitted
talk
that you
over
just did. So then, look, because
People
do
find
you
it
not understand?
frustrating when you
Look,
talk over
when you
them.
say the reason,
People find it
look,
frustrating
I'm
when
trying,
you say
look,
they're being
I'm
dumb.
trying to explain why I
I mean-
overtalked you. Look, if you say the reason I believe in God is because
It
God,
doesn't help.
no, it does. Look,
Doesn't
if you're
help.
saying the reason I believe in God is because Gava Guy Shoy Shai, and then I say, wait, what do you mean by Gava Guy? Because you can't continue to talk using terms I'm entirely unfamiliar with or unclear as to what the semantic contents are when you express them, and then you continue to ramble. Then I don't know these terms, so then I'm going to forget them, and I'm not going to be informed any more than I was you not telling me because you're using language I'm unfamiliar with. So I'm going to interject so I can get out a clarifying question so you can inform me what that expression means so I can actually understand your reasons.
Well, so sometimes you understand expressions not just by analyzing the individual semantic sort of content of one word or a phrase. You've got to listen to the whole thing, process the whole thing. I mean, if you've actually
that's not going
processed,
to inform me of what the term use means.
It is. Trust me.
Sorry.
Sometimes when you read sort of a whole paragraph and the first couple words might not make sense, but by the time you read the whole paragraph and you take a little while to like understand what's happening, or you get to sometimes the end of the paper, you'll be like, okay, I understand way better than if I had paused after the words to understand something.
I don't see why I would sign off on that. I don't know if you have an argument, but look, I mean, I could just give you some counterexample.
If you can't sign off on that, like that's that sounds like a you problem.
And it sounds like a you problem that you would like sign on to that without like an argument.
People a chance to communicate the way they feel sort of comfortable with in the moment. And part of what that means is giving people the ability to.
If someone feels comfortable,
to formulate the ideas in their head.
If someone just feels comfortable with when I ask, do you like? I mean, does God exist? And they respond with, I like grilled cheese. No. Right, I don't care if they feel comfortable responding that way. I care with them responding what's pertinent to the question that's being laid out to them. Right, so if they're not going to respond with something that's going to be directly relevant to the question, which is going to be an answer, then I don't really care how comfortable they feel. I don't even care if they're not comfortable giving a direct answer. As long as they're going to say something relevant to what's being asked, that's all that matters. I can give two shits about comfortability. Right, it can hurt your neck and be bothersome. I don't care. I just want an answer.
Did you hear my question though?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't hear the question. Okay. Yeah, because I feel like that would have been a pretty helpful sort of thing to address in your tirade here.
No, I'm tirading. You're the one who wasted 20 minutes, almost 20 minutes. I'll speculate. You didn't inform me of what the epistemic issue was.
You raised
not once have you gave me the epistemic issue, right? You're just wasting time.
You raised the example of, well, this person says something because they believe because of grilled cheese or something like that. Okay, and my question was,
that's not what I said.
What was the exact example?
Yeah, you said as long as someone feels comfortable responding, that's the best way you should interlock with, right? The way that the interlocutor feels comfortable in answering, right? And I said, if you feel comfortable in responding to the question, does God exist, with I like grilled cheese, I don't really care if you're comfortable or not.
Well, I think if you actually waited for them to finish their statement, you could actually decisively conclude sort of, all right, this is not a responsive answer. This is not sort of This is a bad.
This is more meta, dude. Look, I'm gonna just give you 3 more
finish.
minutes to give me an answer as to what the issue is, or I'm just gonna leave. I'm not.
Yeah, I'll give you 30 seconds to show me how much you understood about what I've said so far.
Just give me the issue, right? This isn't an answer to my question. What the issue is?
I'm gonna start the timer right now. Well,
if it's gonna be another 30 seconds of you not answering, then we could just end it here.
No, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds.
No. Look. So I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to finally fess up what the epistemic issue is. Okay, we're done.
10 seconds.
We're done.
You've got 15 seconds to go. You've got 10 seconds.
Retard. We're done.
Whoa, hey, there's no need to be abusive.
I'm not being abusive. You're retarded. Look, I can make an argument that you're mentally retarded if you want the argument.
Yeah, let's hear the argument.
Yeah, I already gave the argument. Can you respond?
What was the argument exactly?
Look, I said it 5 times. I'm not gonna keep saying it. Just give me a response.
I'm sorry, bro. I don't remember.
Okay, well now you concede. That's an ad nauseum. I asked it 5 times, and I'm not interested in just to continue to play this game. If you just want to act like you didn't hear it after I said it 5 times, then I don't really care. We're done here. So now I gave you an argument. You were incapable of refuting it. Thereby, my position flourished that the argument God doesn't exist holds true. Given you couldn't refute the argument, and now you want to act like you never heard the argument after 30 minutes of producing the argument 5 times. So we're done. Look, you lost. You're trash. You're retarded. You're a waste of time. I don't know why you anyone takes you serious. You're like a professional time waster. You heard the argument the first 5 times. I'm not going to produce it a 6th. Sorry. So we're done. Look, you're an idiot. You have no reason to believe in God. You don't even know what reasons are. You don't know basic philosophical nomenclature. You're like pathetic and cringe and like just like super dishonest. Like I don't understand why anyone takes intellectual filth like you to be like this. That's what you're doing. Saying, "Oh yeah, I said it like 5 times. I said it like 5 times." I don't know what the epistemic issue is. So stop saying I said it 20 times and then doing garbage meta and not answering the question. Look, I'm done. Look, if you're not No, look, I'm going to give you 30 seconds right now. Yeah, it is fair. Look, this is exactly what you did. I'm going to give you sorry. It is sorry. What's the argument? It's not accurate.
I would
Wait, what's the disanalogy? Yeah, what's the component that's constitutive of the analogy that fails to have them be co-equal?
I would be willing to
Sorry. Look, you're just dodging more questions. What is going to be the constitutive of the analogy that which that constitutive is going to lead to the failure of the co-equality between the analogies, or between the actual state of affair and the analogy? Go ahead. Don't look. All you do is dodge questions. You say I made an epistemic issue. You lie about giving the issue, and then you do that 20 times. And now I'm giving you a question, and you continue to dodge it again. What is the disanalogous? What is the facet of the analogy that makes it disanalogous? Disanalogous. Sorry.
I'm trying to tell you, but you're interrupting.
Yeah, so just give it. Look, I'm gonna stop talking.
So I would be willing to concede that maybe you think I'm not communicating in the way that you would like. Okay, you want me to give you the immediate semantic content.
So then, for clarity, the disanalogous component of the analogy was that you weren't clear on. You're not clearly articulating your view. That's what's the disanalogous part. Because what I asked was what's the disanalogous constitutive of the analogy, right? So what you're giving me right now is either a response or it's not, and seemingly it's not the case. But if it is the case, well, that's still not going to pertain again to what I'm asking, right? So once again, you're either doing this grilled cheese response, or you're just not giving a response. And either way, that's not pertinent to what I'm asking. So either give me an actual pertinent response or respond. Go ahead. No. You said no. Out. No, what I want to hear is, look, you can either retract the claim, it's disanalogous, and then we could go back to the claim you made that there's going to be an epistemic issue within my epistemic framework, and you can elucidate what the issue is within my epistemology, and then we can do criticisms of that, or you can actually give the disanalogous component or constitutive of the analogy that I drawn. Go ahead.
Can you like...
Prior or latter? Choose. No, prior or latter?
Prior or latter?
Mm-hmm.
Bro.
Yes, prior or latter.
It's like you're trying very hard to control the argument.
Yeah, so prior or latter. Look, you're dodging. Prior or latter?
I feel like you're trying to control
I feel like you're just dodging.
What am I dodging exactly?
The question, prior or latter. And every time you say, I feel like you're trying to control the conversation, unless that's supposed to be a response, you're not responding.
Look
and
at
that's what a dodge is.
Of the things
Sorry, what did I dodge? Like, I tried to get clear what you meant. You kept asking, like, you're doing this BS thing where you're saying, I gave you the issue, respond to the issue, or else you fail. I'm not clear what the issue is. And I just did the same thing to you, where I said the argument 5 times and you failed to actually respond.
Okay, so
you're giving the disanalogous
wait, no.
component? Oh, you're not. Okay, so it is
No,
going to be the epistemic issue.
What I'm giving
No,
you
look,
instead,
we're not interested in that, right? We're going to do this preliminarily.
you should
Yeah,
speak for
me
yourself.
and you,
Don't
me and
speak
you,
for
me and you.
everybody.
Look, we're doing this preliminarily,
Don't-
right?
wait,
No,
wait,
look,
if you're
no.
gonna talk about what you're interested in,
No. We're doing
gotta
this.
be able to talk about what
Sorry,
I'm interested in
preliminarily.
as well.
So I asked questions first,
I
and it's
let
been
you
20
get
minutes
away
since you
with a lot
responded,
of-
right? Because you haven't responded within that past 20 minutes. So I either want a response or tell me that you just wasted my time and you're not going to answer the question. If
Let's
you're going to
be clear
continue to
here.
not answer the
Are you
question,
saying I've
you
not
can hop off
responded to
board.
anything
Or
you
if you're
said?
going to try and give me the answer, then actually give the answer. Now I'm going to
Just
try
to be
and hear
clear,
out
are
the
you
answer.
saying I've not responded to anything you've said?
Yeah, what I asked was, what's the issue?
Wait,
You
wait,
did not.
wait.
You did not respond to that.
So wait, just to be clear, you're saying
Just to
I
be
have
clear, you
responded
did not
to a
respond to the
single
question, what's the
thing
issue?
you've said. That was one question out of a
Sorry.
lot. That
No,
was-
you also dodged the
Right.
question, the prior or latter. And you also dodged the question earlier prior to that, which was of the prior or latter, containing either options of what you've dodged was fess up the epistemic issue I made within my paradigm, or tell me what's the disanalogous constitutive contained in the analogy that fails to hold the co-equality between the state of affairs in which we're talking about and the analogy I represented. Right? And now you're dodging the question of which one you're going to choose because you dodged both questions. So now you dodged a total of 3 questions. Now either you can engage with any of the 3 questions or we can just drop the conversation. And if you give me anything right now that's not an answer to any of the 3 questions, then I'm just going to leave.
Bro, don't leave.
So then answer one of the questions. So answer one of the questions.
Let's try and
So the
figure
first
out
question
later.
here, do you need me to reproduce the 3 questions? Are you
Can
clear
I
on
tell
them?
you what I need from you instead of
No,
that?
no. Look, what I need.
How about we just
What I
treat
need
each
is an
other
answer
like
to the
decent
question.
human beings
Okay,
and
this-
engage with
this-
each
yeah,
other
this-
in a way that tries to understand
Okay, I'm just
what
gonna.
the other side is
There, I
saying,
muted
because
you.
you keep over talking.
I muted him, so he can continue to rumble. He didn't want to engage.
I mean, can I
dishonest
try to
filth.
mediate? Like, because you guys are not getting anywhere.
Yeah, he's just dishonest filth. I'm not gonna talk with him. He dodged 3 questions. Actually, no, he dodged 4. The 4th one was either I'm gonna disengage from the conversation or you're gonna answer any of the 3 questions.
I mean, but at this point, it's completely devolved into
Yeah, I know, that's where we're
nothing
done.
productive.
Exactly, that's where.
But I
we're
mean,
done.
from both sides, though, it's devolved. Like, it's not even.
No, he made many claims, and all I asked was like simple clarifying questions to those questions to respond, and then he continued these rabbit trails, and just like was being verbose.
I don't disagree with you that was occurring, but like, it's more.
Well,
there's
it's
more
fine.
going on
Look,
than just that.
Look, he's not going to actually engage. I think he's just a troll who's trying to waste time. So given that,
I think he thinks he's engaging, and
I don't
it's-
have any reason to believe that he has that thought, but I have the hypothesis that he's trying to, waste my time. And given what is predicted from the hypothesis and the compatible datum from my experience of this interlocuting, there's sufficient evidence for that hypothesis. So I have a strong theory that he's just wasting my time.
I mean,